1979. He began his activism in the anti-nuclear and environmental movement. In 1985, Don learned about nonviolent direct action with the American Peace Test and the Nevada Desert Experience founded by California Franciscans. After 9/11, 2001, he became very involved in advocating for immigrant rights and Muslim and Palestinian solidarity in Northeast Ohio. He co-founded the Greater Cleveland Immigrant Support Network in 2003. He joined the Christian Peacemaker team at the Arizona-U.S.-Mexico border for the U.S. Borderlands Project. Don helped organize a delegation to Gaza, Palestine in March 2009 to witness the destruction of Israel's caste-led invasion. Don works against poverty, oppression, and racism, and believes in a unite and empower strategy to overcome the divisiveness of our political and social climate. Don is one of the hardest working, most tireless, and certainly most cheerful peace activist and social justice advocate I know. The first time I met Don, before I even know where in Cleveland I was, it was at a rally in support of Syrian refugees. I was welcomed enthusiastically, as if he had always known me. The second time I met him, he remembered my name, and I was, as everyone he meets, now family. CNVN is sincerely grateful to Don's tireless, compassionate work on behalf of a peaceful, more just world. And we offer this token of our appreciation for his sweet and steadfast dedication. Thank you. Thank you for everything.
So much. I actually made a sign for you. Oh wait, is that it? Oh wait, that's not it. That could be it. Or is that it? Oh wait, is that it? Oh no, here it is. That could be it. Oh, there it is. You can't go anywhere without a sign these days, right? I just want to say a couple words, and I'll be brief. But the inspiration and affirmation that came from some of the people that have left us at this point, I'd just like to mention their names, and if you want to say Presente after, you can, of course. But Clarence Schlund, Presente, with the Southwest Suburbs Nuclear Weapons Freeze campaign, he was a very tall, lanky man, and he was our thinker in the Southwest Suburbs Nuclear Weapons Freeze campaign, and he was a really liberal Catholic. And he marched in the parade dressed as Uncle Sam. It was the Proud of Parma parade. And our banner in the 1980s said, and we had a float, it said, "Freedom from nuclear weapons." And this is a bold statement in Parma, and we had a bunch of young people on there and colorfully decorated, and people didn't know what to think. But Gladys Lindis, I'd like to mention her as well. She told me before she passed away from cancer, "Don, make sure you tell the world about where I got my cancer at Rocky Flats, Colorado." And I've tried to put that word out there. Her son is a doctor at a hospital nearby, Conrad Lindis in Berea. Arnold Gleiser, who led a campaign called Save Our State from Radioactive Waste. And that was in 1979, which was when I became an activist. Because, well, let's see, my brother and I were at the Kent State commemorative event for May 4th, and we heard many speakers, and I said to my brother, and he said to me, "We have to become activists." And that was in 1979. And a few months later, Arnold Gleiser had an article in the Plain Dealer saying, "We have to stop the radioactive waste from being buried in the salt mines underneath Lake Erie." I joined the campaign, We won, so he taught me that you can fight City Hall and win. At least back then you could. Now it's a lot harder. Doris Belknap, presente. She was in our Southwest Suburbs Nuclear Weapons Freeze campaign group, and she was at the Presbyterian Church over there on Pearl Road, and she invited me to make bread for the world with all her friends at the church. And that's where I learned about kneading the bread very, very hard. You have to do it real hard, they showed me. And of course, feeding the people. Jerry Gordon, who taught me about uniting anti-war with labor, okay, labor activism. I own Biggs, who taught me about loving activism. And Vera Hall, who we just lost recently, and she was a very strong activist and our treasurer for the Immigrant Support Network. And I love her dearly. And Mom and Dad, of course. Now Dad, he told me about the Golden Rule, and which is now instant karma, right? The Golden Rule really means karma, right? But Mom is the one who showed me about the Golden Rule. And I lost her last year in 93, at the age of 93. Early education, I told you I'll be brief, but being the youngest of 4 boys, I learned about giving in on stuff that wasn't worth stressing over, which taught me how to disarm my stronger opponent, my older brother. So that was my early lessons of nonviolence. And I remember about age 12 mowing the lawn, and I had an early revelation. I can't follow these lines that I'm supposed to with the lawnmower. I yelled out louder than the lawnmower, "I will never conform!" And that was about 12 years old. I think we've all gone through that, right? But really, why are you giving an award to someone who is just practicing my own therapy? You know, maybe sadness should be the new normal, because we need to be sad. You know, depression is such a bad thing, they say, but really we should be so sad all the time. We should walk around with sadness and feel it and own it, and then accept the responsibility of why this destruction of the planet is occurring, and then get active. So that's therapy, you know? I mean, if you don't want to be depressed, you get active, right? And my first acknowledgement of nonviolence as a tactic was, as Kathy said, at the Nevada nuclear test site with the American Peace Test and the Franciscan monks. And I went all the way out there with Dick Desmond, another activist who's got Parkinson's now, and he stays home a little bit more, and I still see him tomorrow. I'll see him. And so he dragged me out there, and I got there, and all of a sudden I said, "What the heck are we doing here? This just doesn't, I don't know what difference are we going to make at this?" And they sent us out in the desert, the nonviolence trainers. We did an exercise. Go out in the area here and just sit and say to yourself, what stands between me and the end of the nuclear arms race? What stands between me and that? And I'm sitting out there, and what a waste. What am I doing here? And I just called out to what I call God, which is all that is. And I said, all that is, show me all that is. Be careful what you ask for. Show me all that is. And for the next 3 days, I wept and wept and wept. And I just saw my own connection in violence and, you know, just getting mad at my boss and yelling at him at the job, at the post office. Things like this. But our own connection, such as Maria and Charlie, who don't pay taxes or too many taxes to the war effort, and I'm still paying taxes, so I need to accept that and get active, right? But then we went into the Nevada nuclear desert, and here's where we were going to be committing civil disobedience. And before you do this action, we go through this culvert pipe under the highway on the entrance to the desert. And the trainers and the leader activists said, well, let's sing some songs because nobody's voice sounds badly in a culvert because all the echoes, right? So I was starting my weepy thing again, and I said, can we just sing this one song? I made it up. And it's to the tune of In the Jungle, the Lion Sleeps Tonight, that one. In the culvert, the mighty culvert, the peaceniks sing today. The bombs away, the nukes away, the nukes away, the nukes... Anyway. Whatever. So they let me go out with that. And we sang songs like, of course, simple gifts and whatnot. And just finally, the tears. I wanted to talk about the tears, and what makes me cry, and maybe all of us cry, is when there's some healing. And I just feel the heart getting grabbed at when there's a healing going on. And I really started crying at the Unitarian Church that I go to, Southwest Unitarian Universalist. And a song we were singing a few weeks ago called Becoming, which is by a woman. I forgot her name at the moment, but I find it here somewhere. But it starts out like this. I am who I'm becoming. I am all I have done. And here's when I lost it. I am what I'm dreaming. I've only just begun. And it was something about those dreaming that I feel like we're losing our dreams. Like when we were young, we had a dream of having a better world, and all of a sudden it's gone. So that's what makes me cry. Stop the hate. Thank you so much.